Good morning everyone. I am Leela Prabhugaonkar and I am from the Bodhi Academy. So today we'll continue with our resources and development chapter and we'll cover the second part of this chapter. Okay. So in the previous class we have learned about we have learned about the resources. There are types of resources. Okay, natural, human, then renewable and non-renewable resources. So these were the things what we have learned. Then we have also learned about development of resources. Then we have learned about sustainable development and all these things. Then how the resource, what is the resource planning and all in the first chapter. So now we'll continue with land use pattern in India. Also we have seen which are the different land resource and how we can utilize the land. So land resources is one which supports the natural vegetation, wildlife, human life, economic activities, transport and communication system. Okay, so land is like an asset, no? Yeah. Then we have seen about land under a variety of relief features, namely mountains, plateaus, plains, islands. Okay, so about 43% of the land area is what it is a plain. Okay, which provide facilities for agriculture and industry. Mountains account for 30% of the total surface area of the country and ensure perennial flow of some rivers. Then it provides facilities for tourism and ecological aspects, and all these things we have learned in the part 1. Now even we have learned about land utilization, how the land is being utilized and how the land is covered with forest and land not available for cultivation, then other uncultivated land, fallow lands, all these things we have seen. Next we'll see about land use pattern in India. Okay, so the use of land is determined both by physical factors, okay, such as topography, climate, soil types, as well as human factor such as population density, technological capability, and culture and traditions. Okay, then total geographical area of India is 3.28 million square kilometer. And here land use data, it is only available for 93% of the total geographical area, because the land use reporting for most of the northeast states except Assam has not been done fully. Okay. Moreover, some areas of Jammu and Kashmir occupied by Pakistan and China have also not been surveyed. Then the land under permanent pasture has also decreased. However, now we are able to feed our huge cattle population on this partial land, and what are the consequences of it? Now we are able to feed various population, no, on this particular land. So most of the other than the current fallow lands are either of, it is of poor quality, or the cost of cultivation of such land is very high. So hence these lands are cultivated once or twice in about 2 to 3 years. So these are the lands which we cultivate for around 2 to 3 years. Okay, so and if these are included in the net zone area, then the percentage of NSA in India, it comes to about 54%. Then if we see this report, Directorate of Economics and Statistics, which is given by Ministry of Agriculture, we can see general land use categories 1960 to 61 and general land use categories in the year 2014 to 2015. So if we see general land use categories from 1960 to 61, forest is here, it is forest land is reporting area is 100%, forest land is used by around 18.11%. Then barren and unculturable wasteland we can see over here 12.01. Area under non-agricultural uses is highest over here by 45.26%. Okay, then permanent pasture and grazing land, area under miscellaneous tree crops and groves. If we see over here, it is same, more or less it is same. If you see here, net zone area is more. Okay, cultivable wasteland is 4%. okay, and fallow other than current fallow land is 23.3% over here. So the pattern of net zone area varies greatly from one state to another, and it is over 80% of the total area in Punjab and Haryana, and less than 10% in Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Manipur, Andaman, Nicobar Island. Okay. So the pattern of net zone area, it varies greatly from one state to another state, it varies. So now it is covered over 80% of the total area in Punjab and Haryana, and less than 10% in Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Manipur, Andaman, Nicobar Island. Okay. Then if we see the forest area, the forest area in the country is far lower than the desired 33% of the geographical area. So it's like every state they have to maintain 33% of the forest cover, and it was outlined in the National Forest Policy 1952. Now it was considered essential, very important maintenance, because forest it maintains the ecological balance. Now then it also provides the livelihood of millions of people who live on the fringes of this forest depends upon it. Then, a part of land is termed as a wasteland and land put to other non-agricultural uses. Now, wasteland includes what? It includes rocky, arid and desert areas, and wherein now we cannot do cultivation over here. Now we cannot do cultivation in rocky, arid and desert areas. And land put to other non-agricultural uses includes settlement, roads, railways, industries, etc. Continuous use of land over a long period of time without taking appropriate measures to conserve and manage it has resulted in land degradation. Okay, so this in turn has a serious repercussions on society and the environment. So if we see, now we'll move to the next thing, land degradation and conservation measures. So we have shared our land with the past generations, and we'll have to do so with the future generations too. Okay, 95% of our basic needs are food, shelter, clothing. These are obtained from land, right? Human activities, they have not only brought about degradation of land but have also aggravated the pace of natural forces to cause damage to land. Human beings are causing damage to land, yes. Some human activities also affect land, like deforestation, mining, overgrazing, quarrying, too have contributed significantly in this land degradation. Then mining sites are abandoned after excavation work is complete, leaving deep scars and traces of overburdening. So if we see, these have done a lot of damage to the land. So we'll move to the states, like various states like Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha. Now if we see, deforestation due to mining has caused a severe land degradation over here. Okay. Then in states like Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra, overgrazing is one of the main reasons for land degradations. Okay. Then in other states like Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh, over irrigation is responsible for land degradation. Now this is because of the waterlogging. Okay, leading to increase in salinity and alkalinity in the soil. Then if we see the mineral processing, like grinding of limestone for cement industry, calcite and soapstone for ceramic industry, it generates a huge quantity of dust in the atmosphere, right? And it retards the process of infiltration of water into the soil after it settles down on the land. So in recent years, industrial effluents as waste have become a major source of land and water pollution in many parts of the country. Okay. So we can see the soil profile over here. The first one is the top soil or the upper layer where we live. Then the next part is the subsoil, weathered rock, sand and slate clay. Then the third one is substratum, weathered parent rock material, and the last one is like the unweathered parent bed rock. Okay. Then there are many ways to solve the problems. Now problems, all these things, like land degradation and all, we can do by we can solve these problems by doing afforestation or the proper management of grazing activities. Like here we see, We saw that in the states like Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, overgrazing is one of the main reasons. Then here, like deforestation in these states, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, deforestation is the main cause of land degradation. So how can we reduce these problems, or how can we are going to solve or tackle with all these things is by doing the afforestation and proper management of grazing. Okay, this can help up to some extent. Okay, then the next thing is planting of all the shelter belts of plants, control on overgrazing, then stabilization of sand dunes by growing thorny bushes are some of the methods to check land degradation in arid areas. Then next we can solve by proper management of wasteland, control of mining activities over here, then proper discharge and disposal of industrial effluents and waste after treatment can reduce land and water degradation in industrial and suburban areas. Okay, then every human being they have to see resource as a very important thing, very essential thing, because soil is the most renewable natural resource, right? And it is the medium of plant growth and supports different types of living organism on the earth. So the soil is a living system, we can say, and it takes millions of years to form soil up to a few centimeters in depth. Then relief, parent rock or bedrock, climate, vegetation and other forms of life and times are very important factors, okay, in the formation of soil. Then various forces of nature such as change in temperature, actions of running water, wind and glaciers, activities of decomposers, etc. All these things, it contribute to the formation of soil. Then chemical and organic changes which take place in the soil are equally very important. And then soil consists of different types of humus and inorganic material. So on the basis of all these factors responsible for soil formation, color, thickness, texture, age, chemical and physical properties, the soils of India are classified into different types. Okay, so here we'll be learning about the classification of soil. So the classification of soils, it is classified into alluvial soil, black soil, then again it is classified in there are different features of all these things: red and yellow soil, laterite soil, arid soil, okay, forest soils. So this is how they have classified soils. Okay, and we can find this, like if you see the map of India, we can find our major soil types here. If you see, the green one is all the forest and mountains here, the forest and mountain part. Then this is alluvial soil. Then the red and yellow soil you will find in some part of Maharashtra, Karnataka. Okay, black soil you will find in the states like Madhya Pradesh and all, if you see the Indian map. Then laterite is over here in some part of Mumbai, Goa states. Then arid soil is being found over here, this part. Okay, so we'll see the classification of soil. India has varied relief features, landforms, climatic realms and vegetation types. So these have contributed in the development of various type soils. Okay, the first one is the alluvial soil, which we will be talking about. So this is the most widely spread and important soil over here. So in fact the entire northern plains are made up of alluvial soil. So if we see the Indian map, entire northern plains, this one is made up of alluvial soil, the full thing. Then the next is, these have been deposited by the three important Himalayan river system. Okay, the first, the Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra. This soil also extend, now if we see alluvial soil, it is extended to Rajasthan and Gujarat through a narrow corridor. Okay, Rajasthan and Gujarat, some part of Gujarat. Then alluvial soil is also found in eastern coastal plains, particularly in the deltas of the Mahanadi, the Godavari, the Krishna and the Kaveri rivers. Okay, then The alluvial soil, so if we say the picture is given of alluvial soil, the alluvial soil consists of various proportion of sand, sleet and clay. Okay, so here we can see alluvial soil, it consists of various proportions like sand, sleet and clay. So as we move inland towards the river valleys, soil particles appear somewhat bigger in size, and in the upper reaches of the river valley, that is near the place of the break of slope, the soils are coarse. Like such soils are more common, okay, in predominant plates like doras, tears and territe. So apart from the size of the grains or the components, soils are also described on the basis of their age. Okay. According to their age, alluvial soils can be classified as old alluvial soil, we can say it as Bangar, and a new alluvial soil, Khadar. The Bangar soil has higher concentration of conker, okay, nodules, and than the Khadar, and it has more fine particles and is more fertile than the Bangar. So Khadar is more fertile and has got a very fine particles. Then alluvial soil as a whole are very fertile. Okay, so mostly these soils contain adequate proportion of potash, phosphoric acid, lime, which are ideal for the growth of sugarcane. Okay, then paddy, wheat and other cereals and other pulse crops can be grown over here. So due to its high fertility, regions of alluvial soils are intensively cultivated and it is densely populated, and soils in the drier areas are more alkaline and can be productive after proper treatment and irrigation. So this is with regards to the alluvial soil. It has got some features like it can further be divided, like classified as old and a new alluvial soil. Okay, then the next part will move to the black soil, and these soils are black in color as the name black soil. So it is black in color and also known as Rager soil. The another name for black soil is Rager. Okay, so black soil is ideal for growing cotton. So it is also known as black cotton soil, black cotton soil, and it is believed that climatic condition along with the parent rock material are the important factors for the formation of black soil. This type of soil is typical of the Deccan Tract region spread over a northwest Deccan plateau and is made up of lava flows. So they cover the plateaus. If you see over here, it covers the plateaus of Maharashtra, Malwa, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and it is extending to the southeast direction along the Godavari and the Krishna valleys. Okay, so if we see over here, black soil, it is extending to the parts of Maharashtra, no, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and all. So this is what they have given over here, and the Krishna valleys. Okay, so black soil mostly looks like this, whatever the picture is shown, the name black soil, so it looks exactly like that, and it is also called as Rager or black cotton soil. And the cotton is the black cotton soil because cotton, we can grow cotton on that particular soil. So the black soils are made up of extremely fine clay material type. Okay, and they are well known for their capacity, they hold a moisture. So in addition, they are very rich in nutrients such as calcium carbonate, magnesium, potash and lime. Okay, and these soils are generally poor in phosphoric content. So but if we see this one alluvial soil, it is very rich in phosphoric content now. Then they develop deep cracks during hot weather. Deep cracks are shown over here in this picture. So this deep cracks, what we can see. So these soils are sticky when wet, and it is difficult to work unless it is tilled immediately after the first shower or during the pre-monsoon period. Okay, the next we'll move to the red and yellow soils. So red soil develops on a crystalline igneous rocks in areas of low rainfall in the eastern and southern part of the Deccan Plateau. Yellow and red soils are also found in parts of Odisha, Chhattisgarh, southern parts of the middle Ganga plain and along the predominant zone of the western Ghats. Okay, so Odisha, Chhattisgarh, southern part. So if you can see over here red and yellow soil, you can see the map of India. Red and yellow soil here. So if we see, it is found in some Deccan Plateau, southern parts of the Deccan Plateau, then Odisha, Chhattisgarh. Okay, These soils develop a reddish color due to diffusion of iron in crystalline and metamorphic rocks, and it looks yellow when it occurs in a hydrated form. Okay, then we'll move to the laterite soil. So laterite has been derived from the Latin word later, which means brick. So the laterite soil develops under tropical and subtropical climate with alternate wet and dry season. This soil is a result of intense leaching due to heavy rain. So lateritic soils are mostly deep to very deep, acidic, generally deficient in plant nutrients, and occur mostly in southern states. Western Ghats region of Maharashtra, Odisha, some part of West Bengal and Northeast regions, where these soils support deciduous and evergreen forest. It is very rich in humus, but under a sparse vegetation and semi-arid environment, it is generally humus poor. Now they are very prone to erosion and degradation due to their position on the landscape. After adopting appropriate soil conservation techniques, particularly in the hilly areas of Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, this soil is very useful for growing tea and coffee. Red laterite soils in Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala are more suitable for crops like cashew nuts. Okay, so this is with regards to the laterite soil what we can see in this picture. Then we'll move to the arid soil. Arid soil range from red to brown in color. Arid soil, it is like red to brown in color, and they are generally sandy in texture and saline in nature. Okay, so in some areas the salt content, it is very high because it is saline in nature, and common salt is obtained by evaporating the water. Okay, due to the dry climate, high temperature, evaporation is faster in this place, and the soil lacks the humus and the moisture because it is very saline and sandy in nature. The lower horizon of the soil are occupied by conker because of the increasing calcium content downwards. Okay, so the conker layer formations in the bottom horizon restrict the infiltration of water, and after proper irrigation this soil become cultivable, as has been in the case of western Rajasthan. So this we can see the arid soil over here. Okay, then we'll move to the forest soils. So these soils are found in the hilly and mountainous areas where sufficient rainforests are available here. The soil texture varies according to the mountain environment where they are formed. Okay, and they are very loamy and silty in the valley side and coarse grained in upper slopes. So in the snow-covered areas of Himalayas, this soil experience denudation and are acidic with a low humus content. The soil found in the lower parts of the valleys, particularly on the river terraces and alluvial fans, are fertile. So next we'll be learning about which are the different methods of soil conservation. Okay, and the soil erosion we'll be learning about. So if you can see this picture, they have shown the soil erosion. So the process of soil formation and erosion go on simultaneously. Okay, and generally there is a balance between the two also. Sometimes this balance is disturbed due to the human activities like deforestation, then overgrazing, construction, mining, etc. While natural forces like wind, glacier, water lead to the soil erosion. So this is very important, what leads to the soil erosion. Wind, glacier and water, this leads to the soil erosion. So the running water, it's cut through the clayey soils and makes deep channel, and it is called as gullies. So the land become unfit for cultivation and is known as bad land. Okay, so in the Chambal basin, such lands are called ravines, and sometimes water flow as a sheet over a large area down a slope. So in such cases, the topsoil, it is washed away. The topsoil is washed away, and this is known as sheet erosion. So wind blows loose soil off flat or sloping land, known as wind erosion. Soil erosion is also, it is caused due to the destructive methods of farming. Plowing in a very wrong way, that is up and down the slope. Then it is going to form a channels for the quick flow of water, and this leads to the soil erosion. Plowing along the contour lines can decelerate the flow of water down the slopes. So this is called as counter plowing. Steps can be cut on the slopes, making terraces. So it is also called as terrace cultivation, but it restricts the erosion. Okay, it restricts the soil erosion. Western and central Himalayas have well developed terrace farming. Large fields can be divided into strips. Strips of grass are left to grow between the crops. Okay, and this breaks up the force of the wind, and this method is known as strip cropping. Then planting lines of trees to create shelter also work in a similar way. Rows of such trees are called shelter belt, and these belts have contributed significantly to the stabilization of sand dunes and in stabilizing the western desert in western India. Okay, so this is what your soil erosion and soil conservation is all about. So in this we saw different classification of soil, then we saw land degradation and which are the different methods to conserve the soil, like reducing or controlling the mining activities, afforestation, okay, proper management of grazing. This can help to some extent. Okay, so this is with regards to your first chapter, resource and development. Thank you for watching my video.